Last night I was messed up, but I hope you will forget. Please do me a favor, erase the things I said. Pull me a little closer, take away the pain. Remind me I got everything to lose. I'm better with you. 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 Lying by your bedside, you feel so far away. Guess my cord is full now. Go ahead, make a mistake. You say that you're sorry, and I'll say it's okay. 'Cause I know I got everything to lose. I'm better with you. I'm better with you. You say that you're sorry, and I'll say it's okay. 'Cause I know I got everything to lose. I'm better with you. I'm better with you. I'm better with you. I'm better with you. By your side, nothing else will matter when your eyes meet mine. We say it all in silence under the same sky. Good things fall together now. I know I'm better with you. I'm better with you. I'm better with you. I'm better with you.
All right, guys, we are back.
We're back.
I have several guests with me tonight, so let's hope we don't step on each other's toes. Everybody gets their opportunities, and we can get through our Week 4 preview podcast. There's been a lot of big news that's come out. Well, not a lot, but the size of the news for the specific people is going to be very impactful on our season and on a couple people's teams here. We had waiver wire run this morning. Looks like some of the waiver bids were a little bit lower than expected. I think people kind of reeled in a little bit what they wanted to spend this week compared to week 2, I guess it was, when the big numbers went out. But so there's we're going to go over some waiver wire talk. We're going to get into some big news that just came out. We'll talk a little bit about trades, and then we'll get into our picks. So some of these topics are organized in this manner, mostly because I have with me, myself is on here. Tonight, my brother is on the podcast. Chris is here.
Get that victory lap, boy.
You know it.
I have Jrad here. And then, and also Jay Leonard came on also. So we have 4 of us here tonight. So we're going to see how we can get through this. How's everybody doing? How you doing, Chris?
Can't complain, you know. I beat you. That's all that matters. I don't care what I do the rest of the season. This was the only matchup I wanted to win, and I won.
All right. right. I'll give you a couple minutes to take your lap. I'll give that to you here soon. Jrad, what do you got to say about this week coming up?
Oh, I'm just over here sending trades and canceling trades. I mean, that's I'm
Jrad,
really
the
busy
friendly
doing
ghost over there.
that.
I got one today.
I was like, I almost said a joke in the group text. I don't know if Antonio Brown deletes more tweets than I do trades, but it's close.
Oh, I like that. I like that. That's a good one. So even after we bash you on the podcast, call you names, talk about you being a ghost trader, you still go out and do it.
I will prevail.
Somebody will eventually hit accept by accident. It's bound to happen with the quantity that you've sent out. Jay, what are you thinking leading into week 4? Now don't get too far ahead of yourself. I know there's some more information we're going to get to here soon.
Yesterday I was on here. We opened up. I was going wah wah wah. It's a matter of 24 hours. You can look up.
There you go. There's some.
That was my positive mental attitude at the end of last night's podcast. Really turned into an awesome day.
There is some light on the horizon for you. So let's jump into the waiver wire. I'll run through this pretty quick. If you guys have something, let me know. We talked about it last night. Big one on the waiver wire was Wayne Gallman. We knew he was going to come out. I'm pretty certain Jrad picked up Marquise Goodwin in the trade that we'll talk about soon, and then turned around and got rid of him as soon as possible for the highest waiver bid this week, $33 for Wayne Gallman. Not surprising. I figured it'd be the highest, but I really thought that I was going to see a bid in the 40s, if not 50s, for him. So good for you, Jrad. You got to save some fab there. I'd actually like to know. Let me see if I can go back.
That's what I want to
He
know.
is still on your bench.
Ritter posted $32. You got him by $1.
Took him by a buck.
Rhodes went out 27. Jay went 22. Joe Beal probably didn't have any left after he made that bid the second week. And Chris, you actually went in pretty $10. I can't believe you wasted the clicks or the Wi-Fi data to even put a $10 bid in. You knew it was going to be way higher than that.
I knew it was. I said I was gonna do 99, but then I realized he ain't a high quality running back. He'll be a starter, but
He's not worth 99, but I think anybody that's on that looks at this or listens to us will know that Wayne Gallman was worth a pickup this week.
And Nyhoff could have got him with his 39 bid, but he held off.
Yeah, well, I think we were talking about. Yeah, that's right. He had 39
that's all he had left. So
yeah.
Could have got him if you wanted him.
Not surprising. I figured Taylor Gabriel. He went off in prime time Monday night. He's the reason I did not win in DFS this week. He hurt me pretty bad there with that third touchdown. But $25 dropping Nyheim Hines. I don't imagine Nyheim Hines is going to last too long on the waiver wire. Honestly, I think somebody's going to work on him. The other one we talked about a little bit was Darrell Williams, Kansas City backup. It looks like Damian Williams did not practice today. LaShawn McCoy, I believe, had a look at his ankle. And Darrell Williams, for some reason, they didn't give Darwin Thompson any opportunity. So I guess he's the next man up right now. Anybody in a red Kansas City uniform is worth picking up, I think, in some capacity. Dropping Geronimo Allison.
Geronimo.
He won't be on the waiver wire long.
Yeah, I agree.
Somebody's going to pick him up. I mean, any wide receiver for Aaron Rodgers, the odds are in your favor, even though Aaron Rodgers does not look like Aaron. He looks more like Brett Favre at the end of his career than Aaron Rodgers in the prime of his career. Jacoby Brissett, $10. I think you were just talking about that, Jay.
Your brother was. It was a good pickup by him. I was done spending money on quarterbacks, as you can tell. I was thinking about going in on him. I did like Jacoby Brissett. I don't know, Chris, you want your thoughts on that?
It was between him and Kyle Allen, and Brissett is going to be as a seasoned quarterback and has proved himself 3 straight weeks, and Goff is looking horrible unless he proves something.
J-Rad got Kyle Allen on the free agent list. So.
On the free.
Yes, he did.
I do like Brissett's weapons a lot more as well. Well,
and
that's not true.
I could have a stat.
Not compared to Golf, though.
T.Y. hurt. T.Y. hurt. I heard that. I heard he's questionable this week. So, I mean, I don't know how many more injuries and sacrifices from the lineup that Indy can handle right now. I went back out this week after I decided I dropped Jamal Williams last week, got Danny Dimes, came back out this week, saw the snap count, saw the share there, and liked Jamal, so I went back out and got him again. I paid
Beat
$8.
me by $1.
Is that what it was? Okay, $7.
Well, originally my bet was 7. I went back down to 5, thinking I could get away with it, trying to save some of the fab. And then of course I wake up this morning, $8. But you also had to spend $8 after dropping him, kind of like I was trying to with Debo last week.
Yeah, I'm not happy I had to do that. I wish I would have worked I would really thought J.J. Arcega-Whiteside was going to be a worthwhile flyer. Otherwise, I can't remember who I picked him up and dropped initially. I would have much rather moved Danny Dimes that way and kept Jamal Williams, but just the way I worked my lineup there. Cost me $8 though, so Jrad is still streaming defenses. He's playing Pittsburgh this week, dropped Tennessee after Tennessee hurt him pretty bad this past week.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to be doing that quite often week to week. But, Pittsburgh's going against Cincinnati, and they have an atrocious offensive line, and they are swinging the ball, and they just picked up another corner, I think, from, I don't know, they have some good corners in Pittsburgh. They're playing at home. It's a divisional matchup. I feel like I should have a bounce back on the defense.
Pittsburgh just turned them over 5 times last week. San Fran. I know that all too well.
Talking about that, Jay went out and decided to get rid of one of his 4 quarterbacks in this first waiver move. Picked up Chris Conley, who I dropped last week. I like this. He was another one that I just didn't see ever making it into my starting lineup, so I moved on from him. But he's a good player. See, I figured he'd be on somebody's team. Haynes.
We needed it. Got to make moves, man.
Yeah.
Have to get rid of these quarterbacks. Need to pick up options,
Haynes got Jack Doyle for $1. This was the last paid waiver move. Jack Doyle for $1, dropping Traquan. Without Breeze, this is not a bad move. Traquan's just not going to see the action from Teddy Bridgewater. They're not going to throw the ball enough to make sense for that.
Right.
You went out and got Jordan Akins. I actually just heard about this guy today and went looking for him, and he was already gone. He had he had 3 receptions for 73 yards and 2 touchdowns. So those are loaded numbers, but
he won't be consistent.
He won't be consistent. It's my 3rd tight end. So it's the ceiling with him as well, but I liked it, and I need help there. So
yeah, nobody can predict.
It might be a start. We'll see.
Nobody can predict, but if you got 4 quarterbacks and you're dropping 2 of them, why not pick up guys that had big weeks and are an opportunity there, right? So then we had Matt Prater for Robbie Gold. I guess you needed a kicker this week for bye.
I didn't want to get rid of Gold because I like his consistency, but yeah, that's all it was.
Addix is moving.
Bye weeks are up.
Yeah, first round of bye weeks. I think that's why the waiver wire here is so deep. Indy for San Francisco from Addix. Dwayne Haskins for Witten, which this is funny to me. So we'll get to this in a minute. But yeah, Jrad, you pick up Dwayne Haskins at 3:31 a.m. $0 and drop Jason Witten, and you turn around and 9 hours later, 8.5 hours later, we're like, hey, I don't know if I really want that guy. I'm gonna have Kyle Allen on my team instead.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there was
let me
fab
defend
involved
myself
in that.
because you act like I was just up in the middle of the night, picking up people. But that's just the
What were you
claim
about
that you
to say?
put in the day before.
No,
But,
I
yeah.
know. That's when waivers ran. You waivers ran for $0. You got Dwayne Haskins, and 8.5 hours later, you were like, I don't know what I was doing 12 hours before this, but now it makes more sense to get rid of him.
I have no idea what they're doing. I heard reports that they're going to start him very soon. I feel like if they took another loss, they were going to start him next week. I just don't know what they're doing. So the coach says they're not going to start him. I don't know what to think.
I don't think he's going to start this week either. I think looking for a starter is not the right way to approach Dwayne Haskins. Looking for a quarterback that's going to play the second half of the season, that is the correct way to look at him, because if he doesn't come in at halftime this week as Washington gets drilled again, he will be within the next couple of weeks, probably when they fire Jay Gruden.
Anyways, back to real quick Kentucky Klondike Bar. The Indy pickup, I like. I was almost in on a couple bucks from them because I'm also been streaming some defenses.
Oh,
I
why
took a couple
though?
deep breaths.
They got
And
they're
I like them against Oakland.
traveling
They're
to
home.
Oakland, and then they're coming
home,
right
I
back.
think.
Or I'm sorry, they're home for Oakland, and then they go to
Yeah.
Kansas City. So it's literally
Well, that's what I
week.
looked ahead. Correct.
Yeah.
I know. Well, I'm playing defenses kind of like everyone else is, 1 week at a time.
I gotcha.
So, but I looked
What
at it. I
I'm
like my
doing.
defense against Arizona, so I stuck with it.
AJ Brown for Kenny Stills. I think this is another flyer move here.
AJ Brown has been every single week.
Kenny Stills is a better player.
Kenny
AJ
Stills
Brown
is
has
picked
been
up quickly.
every single week.
He has been what?
AJ Brown has been picked up and dropped, I think, all 3 weeks so far.
Gotcha. I was gonna say he's a drop for me right now. I actually like Kenny Stills more. It's kind of weird. Kenny Stills he put up double digits this past week, 4 for 89, and AJ Brown put up 1 for 4. So I'm kind of.
I don't get it.
I'm really confused by this move, and you know what? Actually, I might while we're on here live, I might put in a waiver wire pick on this guy. Oh, you can actually you can look at
hit the watch again.
You can
it's already too late.
What is happening right now? Okay, hold on. You can actually do you can look at the player history and see when they were moved. So since I just figured that out, let's take a look at AJ Brown. He was added by Post Mahomes, dropped by Post Mahomes. He was added on the 11th, dropped on the 18th, picked up again on the 25th. So he has moved.
Yeah, we've been talking about him every week.
Nyhoff again. I know he's big on this guy, Ogun Bawali, however the hell you pronounce his name, but running back for Tampa.
Just call him Dare.
That is a worse situation than the Patriots backfield.
It might be. You're right, because at least Patriots backfield, somebody's going to be successful. Tampa, there's no guarantee. Ritter, I think, takes a flyer here on C.J. Anderson, drops Jalen Samuels. Still waiting to see if C.J. is going to get picked up anywhere. Joubert, I guess, is playing the game as Houston drops Denver.
That's pretty big. Been watching it. Denver's going to be all right.
Jay,
I guess I shouldn't give away it.
Was Darwin Thompson part of your guys' trade?
No. I picked up Darwin Thompson last week.
Yeah, no.
As a flyer as well when I saw LaShawn was being hurt, and then he was not hurt and killed me. And killed the Ravens as well.
This is crazy.
So
I can't believe this kid's not getting a shot.
I can't either. And he is tiny though. He's 5'8". I didn't realize he was that small. He's been getting dropped like crazy, so I went out and took a flyer on Darius Slayton.
I'm seeing a couple things actually here on the waiver wire that I'm liking that I'll be jumping on here. Chris, you went out, you dropped Philly D, you dropped Ty Johnson, your carry-on backup.
Yep.
Jason, praise the Lord! Everybody, round of applause.
Oh my God, he got rid of the IR guy.
Yep, somebody must have finally got through to him on text message. He got rid of one of his IR players and picked up an even worse one.
Good job, Jason. I'm okay with you. I'm all right with it. Corey Davis is going to get you a solid 5.
The Corey Davis truthers are in the house. Next one, I like this, Jrad. This is a sneaky, quick pickup. I don't know if he'll ever make a real impact this year, but I think J.H.I. is going to get a shot somewhere. Dropping Randall Cobb, though, I mean, that's another name. There's a couple guys I think that got dropped this week that are definitely going to be moved again on a waiver wire. Chris, you went out and added Carolina, added Ben Watson. I mentioned this during the pre-show. Ben Watson, I like that sneaky pick.
Yep, he's going to be my bye week guy.
There you go. As long as he stays off the drugs.
He can stay on him as long as he gets me some points.
We talked about this.
I'm hoping Danny Dimes finds a little bit of Darius Slayton. I know I jumped back, but that's the other thing I was looking at as well.
Ooh, yeah.
Maybe one downtown touchdown and
downtown Danny Dimes.
Take the points back from you this week. We'll see how.
Who was it? Oh, that's right. You came in with the joke yesterday, Jay, with the old Danny Nichols this week.
Yep.
J-Rad, we talked about this, adding Kyle Allen, dropping Dwayne Haskins. I mean, I like it. I like Kyle Allen. I think Haskins is probably more of a dynasty player right now for most people than he is a season long. I mean, you're just looking for a backup bye week guy that maybe will be good when you need him, because you're using Deshaun Watson every opportunity you can.
Yeah, if something happens to Deshaun this week, I mean, I have somebody that is at least going to play next week. I don't know what's going on with Newton. I think he might be out for another 2 weeks. But if this guy keeps
I'm
playing
going
well,
out
they may
4.
delay it even longer.
Dude, I would not be surprised. I'll go on record right now. I will not be surprised if Cam Newton winds up on the IR in the next 2 weeks.
It's the beginning of the downfall for the Carolina Panthers and Cam Newton.
I don't think it's going to be a downfall.
I think
No,
there might be
not for
not
for the Panthers, but for Cam Newton, it's going to be a downfall.
Okay. Well, the way you said it first, I could not agree
Yeah.
with that. I think this is actually going to benefit the Panthers. I've never been big on Cam Newton. I auto drafted him this year, so don't think that because he was on my team I liked him. But without him being able to run, he's never been somebody that could throw accurately. Never was able to. He had one season where he led the team down the field consistently, and he did a lot of that with his legs. So
Cut out there at the end.
yeah, I keep getting alerts. There's
By the way,
some of these other goons that keep hopping
Newton
off
for
and on
JJ.
an outdated Call of Duty game. So then I see, where was I? Ben Watson, Kyle Allen. I went out and got Hunter Renfrow.
Which is sleeper alert. And they dropped a wide receiver. Who they get? Ryan Grant. They get cut Ryan Grant, right?
Yep. So now they're down to
But
3.
Ryan Grant's
I think they're down to
is he
3
a receiver?
now.
Yes, he is a wide receiver.
Oh, he was a running back. Didn't he play at Auburn?
Who?
I know these things.
Hunter Renfrow?
Ryan Grant?
No,
Ryan
Ryan
Grant played
Renfrow
for
was
Washington
Clemson.
last year.
Yeah, he was a wide receiver for Washington.
It wasn't very good.
No. Needless to say.
Played at Tulane.
If you can get cut from the Oakland Raiders, you can't be very good.
He's been in
Yeah,
the
I
league
see,
for about 5 years.
Hunter Renfrow, he's a Cole Beasley type slot PPR potential monster. He had a lot of good hype going into the season, but he hasn't produced yet. But who knows? It
A
could
lot of
pick
that
up.
was Hard Knocks induced, but still. I'll take a flyer. JJ
That helmet
Arthega-Whiteside
cam
might help
during
me.
Hard Knocks.
Every
they had
team's
the
got
helmet
these
cam on
guys.
him the whole time, and it was sick.
Yeah. Zane Gonzalez dropping Noah Fant. I'm assuming because Noah Fant hasn't done a ton, and he probably needed a kicker this week. I'm assuming for bye. That he dropped Mason Crosby, which actually plays Thursday night, and picked up James O'Shaughnessy. So I remember I saw him. He scored a touchdown this week. He did.
What's
score.
the place we always like to eat at? Shenanigans.
O'Shaughnessy's.
Oh shit.
All right, so no, we've cleared the waiver wire. There's a lot of names out there. I think we might have some more waiver movement before the week kicks in. The big thing that I want to go over real quick, couple little things. Rashad Penny did not practice Wednesday, so Jrad, I know you were a little nervous about Chris Carson potential. This is probably going to play in your favor. So I think I said that I thought that Penny would start and get the first carry, but this is trending in a direction that you might be okay. Carson might be the only. I mean, Percease might scare you. I'm kind of surprised he didn't move off the waiver wire.
No, I don't believe he'll. I mean, the way Pete Carroll says a lot of things, and you take what he says with a grain of salt. But I do believe they're going to give, especially if Penny's if he's going to be in the game, he's getting the first crack. I do believe that, but I don't think this other guy. I don't think what's his name? Rosie Posey.
Precise.
CJ Procise.
Yeah, Procise. Nah, he's been on the team forever. He's that they just put him in a doghouse, threw him in there. Yeah, he'll be all right.
I remember when everybody said that about Chris Carson when he was a backup. So.
Somebody
in honor
said on
of
the last
Nyhoff
podcast,
not being here.
Yeah, Nyhoff said that Chris Carson had a fumbling issue before, and that is not true. He only had 2 fumbles recorded on his entire career. So
does that include college?
I don't know.
All right.
Anyway, going to the big,
big one.
News.
Wait, real quick before that.
What's that, Chris?
Did you see that Case Keenum didn't practice today due to a foot injury, and they're not sure if who's going to start Saturday or Sunday?
There you go. You better hurry up and pick up Dwayne Haskins' game, Jrad.
Yeah,
it's been 8.5 hours. I think he's due to be picked back up.
I think you got the better receiver out of the 2 rooks, though. Danny Dimes. I think Haskins. I don't see him doing the same kind of stuff. Danny Dimes.
Terry McLaurin, he will be.
We'll see. All right, Jay, I'm going to let you have this one. I heard you call it out. Breaking news. Reports are that Melvin Gordon will report to the Chargers tomorrow, but
Pumped.
he obviously will not play in Week 4. And in the way that Zeke came back from his holdout, I imagine he'll be possible for Week 5, and then probably have a week or two before he's back to quote unquote Melvin Gordon. So what do you think, Jay? Take your victory lap for storing him this long.
Drafted him in the 4th round. I thought it was a steal. I knew it wasn't going to be a Le'Veon Bell situation. He's back. I obviously need the damn help. I'm pumped. I already had a trade within 20 minutes of the report, so my team can also get better with trades if you are interested. I think it should let him go this week, man. They got a great matchup to get him going. But we'll see how much Eckler is going to be balling out this week, and you're playing him against me. Obviously, he's going to be looking over his shoulder now. So he's going to try to ball out like he has been. So I'm a little worried about that, but I can't be happier that I finally have some good news coming for my team.
So if he doesn't play Week 4, is limited potentially in Week 5, I assume maybe limited in Week 6, and then he's probably full go in Week 7. Week 6 could be it's a Sunday night game against Pittsburgh. That could be his big debut. So you'll get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You have a bye in 12, and then you'll have 13. So you get 7 regular season games out of a 4th round pick. Are you happy with that?
With a player that should be going in the 1st round, if he wasn't projected to hold out,
Jay,
I'm okay.
Don't let Cliff try to downplay your
he
stud.
always does.
Who's going to take over his stud at the running back position?
Got him.
I'm just saying.
I think Eckler finishes better on the year than Gordon. Calling it right now. Eckler still finishes better than Gordon on the year.
Put that on your Twitter, Chris, rather than that other nonsense you keep tweeting.
Write that one down. We'll check it in 7 weeks.
Other than nonsense you keep tweeting out.
Yeah.
All right,
Denver, Pitt, Tennessee, Chicago. Yep.
So I got Jay and Jrad on here. Go real quick into your guys' trade this week, or I guess that what happened Sunday night, I think. Sunday or Monday night, I think. Go into it real quick, your guys' thought processes, what it means for your future, and then we'll jump into picks and we'll roll through those.
Obviously, Jrad was in love with DK Metcalf. That's how it started on week 2. That's how it started, was DK Metcalf for Dak. And I think my 5th or a 6th round pick, that was all it started at. Obviously, with Jrad being him ghost self, took that off the block because I said okay right away. And he was like, wait a minute, I got a better offer from Cliff.
How many trades were you ghosted on before you guys were able to put this one together?
I can't count. No, that's not fair.
This was outrageous. So, after everything was said and done, I got the injury bug hit me with Drew Brees. I tried to pick up 1,000 quarterbacks. I paid fab for them. It sucked. I'm happy with what I've got now. So, getting Dak is huge for me to have a starting quarterback, because I can go ahead and get better options for my team. My team is flipped over how much? Tenfold, man. Obviously, and I had to do it. I'm 0-3. I like the move with my ceilings with Mecole Hardman, because he can always go for 16. He could also go for a goose. And I know Tyreek's coming back, so I don't mind that trade. I like the consistency I can somewhat get with Peyton Barber. And then looking for the picks, I like that it dropped down to a 10th. I don't know when we decided on that through all of our texting. And I think you got a lot of consistency back from me. You're going to get week in, week out, 10, 12 points from James White all day, every day. And then DK always has the potential for that big play with Russell Wilson. So I'll toss it over to you, Jrad. But I think we fared out.
I think it was a good fair trade. I think Dak is top 5 quarterback, and he's continuing that path. Literally, he even said that he didn't play his greatest game against Miami, and he still put up like 23, 24 points. I heard they were making jokes about getting Wendy's chicken nuggets in the huddle. Dak's I can't play Dak and Watson at the same time, so it's frustrating to see both the guys blow up, and you can only play one. And I like DK in the draft. I got drunk and told Jay to draft him. I don't know what round it
That's a
was.
huge lie.
I told you to draft him.
You
Jay
told me
Red-
you liked my pick.
J-Rab was telling people
I said-
a lot of things, to be honest. There was a
I
lot
was
of
like, yeah,
drunkenness that night.
I'm going to trade for him in week 3. That's what
I
he
said
said.
get DK. Anyway, he's as a rookie, he's turning off like a stud. I think he's looking good. So I think Hartman is one of those guys that that can blow up off one injury like that's already shown. But Tyreek Hill might be coming back, and it's just like that is that guy. So it's one of those things. If Tyreek Hill goes down again or Sammy Watkins, then he has a lot more opportunity, and I like him better as a player. But I think I like the value there. James White, I think he's going to get catches all day. He's more consistent. I liked him better in the draft as well. But I did get all excited on the hype on Sony Michel, and they acted like he was going to get involved in the passing role, and that has not panned out in 3 weeks. Rex Burkhead's healthy, and that makes me nervous. And then, like you guys kind of touched on this yesterday about the injury to the fullback. I think Sony Michel will come on.
Well, don't
Maybe in a
sugarcoat
month.
it. You're so glad you traded him to me.
I'm glad I got rid of the players that I didn't really want to hold on to, and I got value picks for next year.
You don't
So
have
yes,
to play
I am
neutral.
happy.
Talk that shit.
You
I'm just
flip-flopped
saying.
Michelle and picked up James White.
I'm not going to jinx anything like you. You go on a shit talking spree, and
Oh,
you
I
start
can't wait.
losing week.
As soon as you finish talking, I'm ready to go on another one here in a minute.
Oh, you're gonna.
Oh,
you're
Lord.
playing Jay this week, so I'll give you a break. But next week you're going down. I'm just kidding.
Oh, you
You
got?
watch. You watch.
Do I have you next week, J-Ron?
I don't know. You should. I don't know.
I'm not gonna look ahead. I won't look ahead because that'll get me even more excited.
But we're about to do matchups.
Don't
soon.
look at projections because
We're going to jump in the picks. So we're going to run through this quick. I have Nyhoff's picks. He's been here consistently every week, so I want to make sure that I keep his record continued. Right now, this past week, I had 2 wins. He had 4 wins, so he has taken the lead now. He's up to he's up to 11 total wins. I'm up to 9. So first
smoking you.
First matchup we're going to look at my board. It starts with mine versus Jay. So we know how this is going to go.
And I said yesterday I was going to pick you so I can get the win.
2-1 squad in second place. My team versus Jay's 0-3 dead last. Look at the matchup real quick. I got we'll run through kind of just surprises to the lineups. Yours is completely revamped. You've got you got Dak now. Alshon's back from the injury. My Peyton Barber against me. My Mecole Hardman against me now. J-Red just flipped this just so I can get beat by my own players this week potentially.
Yes, I agree.
Still kept Hawkinson in. It's a strong lineup. It really is.
It's up in the air.
Strong
It's up in
move.
the air.
It's going to be a shootout Sunday night.
I'm sticking out with Hawkinson, dude.
Yeah.
I have to. That was my gamble.
I'm coming at you in a different approach here. I got Danny Dimes. I'm hoping Sony Michel gets 7 yards this week and a touchdown again. Eckler, this is his going away party. And I think Zeke is going to fucking ball out. I'm gonna be rooting. I'm loved seeing Saints primetime. Who that gonna beat them Saints? They rebounded this week with a couple gifts from Chris Carson and Russell Wilson. But I think Zeke's gonna ball out against New Orleans Sunday night. I'm obviously gonna go with myself. I can tell you that Nyhoff also picked me. Jay, your turn.
Well, I was saying yesterday that I really think Devontae Adams is due. He's playing a banged up secondary. He could have one of those games where he should have I'm thinking 20 to 30 points. I'm thinking he's going to have that kind of a game finally that he's definitely due for.
Are you talking about your whole team or one specific person?
It's not funny. I'm talking about Devontae Adams. Dak, I love it. I finally have a starting quarterback. I'm going to go with me. Alshon Jeffrey in the shootout tomorrow night. He's their only wide receiver playing besides Aguilar. So Josh Jacobs is healthy this week. He was freaking sick last week. I probably should have made a move there. But you can't with your starting running back. So some consistency from Peyton Barber. Hopefully Hawkinson can pan out. I still have options there. and Miko could go off for a 100-yard touchdown. So
I
we'll
really
stick with
like this
myself
lineup.
because I have to do it.
I really like your line. I don't think you should make any changes to your lineup at all. Let's see if you can break 100
You're
points.
just saying that.
See if
You
you
were
can break
talking
100 points this
Burkhead
week.
to 100 points.
Well, you didn't last week. Didn't you only score 77?
Yeah.
All right. What do you think, Chris?
So as of right now, I'm gonna have to go with Jay on this one.
All right. Just because he had to mop the floor with you last week.
I think part of that's because you lost to your brother. Why not lose to your brother-in-law?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you got to keep it going.
Love
But
there's going to be a fire sale on my team if I lose back to you two. Just so everybody knows, players will be up.
the big thing though is Godwin right now didn't practice today, so he's up in the air. I know he still has Thursday, Friday.
He could put Antonio Brown in.
Yeah, there's
yeah,
always
he
time
would do
to
the
sub.
same amount. He would do the same amount.
Antonio Brown
thinking-
may outscore some of Jay's players this week. I haven't seen Hawkinson score more than Antonio Brown in 2 weeks now.
Well,
That's
They
not true.
got-
He did 0.6.
They
Yeah,
got
but-
Peyton Barber though, estimated at 6.7. If you look at how Tampa Bay's been doing it, Peyton Barber did nothing last week, so it means this week he's going to go for at least 15 points, if not 20.
The Rams
Preach.
defense, buddy. Rams defense.
I know. There's a close move.
It's
there
just
that
how
might
it
be
works.
Burkhead.
It's just how it works.
All right, so you
It's
got
going to be
Jay.
close, but he pulls it out by 2 points.
Oh, Jesus. Jrad.
I like it.
It's just close. I'm looking at it. Yeah, Godwin is not practicing.
Would you just look
I
at it?
just looking at it? On paper, it obviously you look like I don't know. Could Danny Dimes do it again? This is a real toss-up. I'm gonna go with Jay because I traded some talent to him, and he's got Prescott, Adams. I really do Adams. Adams is gonna have a day tomorrow night.
He better, man.
I think Adams is going to have a day. So yeah, I'll go with the odd man and go with Jay.
All right, you guys are
I like
terrible. You guys are all terrible people. I wish nothing but the worst upon you this season. Let me log mine. I'm definitely taking myself. Devontae Adams may have a day. He won't have a season, so he's good for maybe like 12 points this week. Next up, Chris, you're going to lead this one. We have 1 and 2 Brandon Haynes, 7th place, versus you after your win on me this past week, 2 and 1 in 4th place. I can tell you right now that Nyhoff swung in your way, Chris. The Chris's stick together. We got Mahomes, Jones, Beckham, Boyd, Gore, Justin Jackson with a surprise appearance on Haynes' team this week. Who did he pull out for him? Oh, he got away from Kenyon Drake. Guess he's tired of that up and down roller coaster. Single-digit roller coaster. Doyle, Tyrell Williams, Bryant, New England. That's a strong team. Chris, you better hope T.Y. Hilton plays.
Harris Campbell.
Scary Terry. You got Paris Campbell as the handcuff. I like that move actually. You got Scary Terry. He's fucking good. This kid's really good.
He's real impressive. I have him in my other league, and I am going to be putting him in this week.
McCaffrey, Keyshawn. Not a chance in the world Austin Hooper duplicates last week's magic. That's not happening. Miles Sanders is
in Tennessee. It could very well happen.
Miles Sanders is in big trouble in Philadelphia. Big trouble. Did he fumble again this week?
He did.
And Jordan Howard is stashed for that
Dude.
Peyton Barber Rams matchup.
Chris, I was big on him preseason. You know I was. He was my favorite out of all of the rookie running backs. Second, Singletary was a close second. You have them both. I don't know. I mean, I guess I got to root. I guess I got to root against you. I hate everything about you because you beat me. I think Hilton scares me. Hooper's going to score low. Sanders is going to score low. I don't know how your kicker winds up with 13 points. He's going to kick like 4, 5, 6 extra points when they score that many touchdowns against Detroit. I'm taking Haynes.
He's taking Haynes.
Okay.
Who did I get? I guess Chris, you want to go? You already went over it, right?
I didn't go over this matchup.
All right, go for it.
So, it's going to be close. I'm obviously going to root for myself, but I think Haynes is going to put it a lot closer than I expect. Right now, I don't care. I'm going to give it up. Miles Sanders might not even play. It might be MVS instead of Miles Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Because MVS is proven himself, but I'm scared. I hate Thursday night players. I hate having people on Thursday
Yeah,
nights.
so making
Well,
these
make sure
picks
you
is a
make
little
that move, though. Make sure you keep someone in the flex that you can still change out, and make sure you get him starting.
making
Oh,
these picks this early is scary because I'm expecting that lineups are set already. But I mean, if you do make a move or two, I would probably pivot to your team on this. But I'm gonna stay
yeah.
with Haynes right now.
The one thing I will say though, because you guys kept talking about him, was Scary Terry. From the day he was drafted, before we had our drafts and my other fantasy football drafts, I knew I was taking him
He was an
in the
Ohio State
last
boy, wasn't
round.
he?
Yes, he was
Mm-hmm.
with Dwayne
That's why.
Haskins.
That's why you're on him. Little homer pick.
Hey, and it panned out real well.
Oh yeah, I agree.
But I'm gonna go with myself because McCaffrey's gonna have a 73-yard touchdown run this week again, and it's gonna give me the win.
It's the only way you won last week.
My turn.
Go for it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Chris. I don't think Haynes' running backs are gonna be able to pull it off. Um, I think he's got tough matchups. Frank Gore against New England, and I don't know. I mean, Justin Jackson will get some time in, but I don't. I just don't see him.
I'm hoping Justin Jackson gets all that time in. Eckler can go sit on a bench.
I don't think New
Mm-hmm.
England's gonna put up. I don't think New England's gonna put up as much defensive points as they have been. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chris here. I think he's just got it spread out just enough to win. I think it's gonna be a close one though.
And I also go to Chris on this one. I do love the star power on Haynes' team. Besides, I'm a little iffy on his running backs with Justin Jackson play. He had to go out on a flyer and pick up Doyle this week because he had Kittle on bye. It's a big difference there. Granted, he's playing Austin Hooper. Um, I love Terrell Williams in that offense. He's their one. He's their go-to. It was a great pick. I mean, there's a lot to love about Haynes' team. It's just those two spots there are going to be difficult for him. And you always got Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes could go way off this week.
For 70 points.
So, wait a minute. I did already pick, yeah, and I went with Chris, even after I just blew up Haynes' team and loved it.
So I'm the only one opposite.
So,
You guys all went with Chris there. We'll move on to the
yep,
next
I'm
one.
going Chris.
Nobody's got any skin in this game. We'll roll through it quick. Beal, 1-2 in 10th place, gets his first win. Addix is on a slide, 1-2 in the 11th
So I wanted
place.
to add in. Hold on, real quick. OBJ gets locked down by Humphreys, and
I
that's the
know.
reason I was switching back.
I
Yep.
saw that and was thinking about switching to Chris, but I still like Haynes' wide receiver firepower in a PPR league. Joe Beal
right.
with Wentz, Thielen, Moore, Aguilar, Connor, Gurley, Waller, Shepard. Nothing over here excites me. Addicts with Rodgers, Cooks, Galladay, Cup, Kamara, Cohen, Kelsey. God. Addicts has got like a few superstars on his team that I really like. This is a poo-poo matchup. I'm not excited about either of these teams. The fact that one of them can be 2-2.
You're not excited about your Saints Kamara?
I mean, that's him and Cooper Cup are what draw me to Addicts' team, honestly.
You're playing Danny Dimes, and you're not excited about Sterling Shepard.
And I
Right.
see, I like Shepard and I like Aguilar here.
Okay.
I just say it's two poo-poo matchups. I mean, Connor looked terrible. Gurley looked terrible. I don't know how you guys could be too excited about this. Kamara
Where do
against
you go?
Dallas, I don't like it. I don't like that matchup. They are home, though. They always seem to play really well at home. Kelsey at Detroit. Cooper Cup against Tampa, who's sneaky good on defense. I think Addix pulls this here. I'm going Addix. Just for your guys' record, also, Nyhoff went Beal in this. Joe Beal.
Beal got off the snide last week, right? That was his first win last week.
Beals, yep.
He had Waller go off. We talked about it yesterday. Sitting on Minnesota versus Chicago defense, that is going to be – that's not going to be much offense, right? So that'll be a decent score for him. If his running backs can start to put it together with Connor and Gurley, because we always said it was a great draft with his running backs, he should do it. My pick is Kentucky Klondike Bar. Kamara's going to have a big game. Cooper Kupp is finally figuring it out with golf after last week. Galladay's going to have a bounce-back week, and I think that game is going to be your highest-scoring game of the week, KC versus Detroit. Aaron Rodgers tomorrow night. I already think Devontae's having his big game, so I went Kentucky Klondike Bar. KY Klondike Bar. Could you imagine a Klondike bar full of KY jelly? That'd be disgusting.
Go ahead, Chris.
So I'm gonna go with Joe Beal here, mainly for the fact of Waller.
Oh, that was easy.
Maybe for the fact of Waller, I saw what Austin Hooper did for me last week against Indianapolis at the
He
tight end
is the
position.
walrus.
And he's the Walrus, so he
Ka-choo.
could pull out a lot of points. I mean, Matt's team he's got a good team all around. The one thing I don't like about it is Brandon Cooks and Cooper Kupp. I mean, they're both amazing wide receivers, but to have both of them on the same team, I'm just not a fan of that because there's a high probability one of them could fail.
Is Waller ever going to catch a pass beyond 10 yards? Can we
He's going to
figure that out?
No, he is not.
But does he need to?
Not a single one. But he will have double-digit receptions again this week.
Yeah?
Yes, he will.
All right.
Alright.
I'm going Joe Beal. I think Aguilar's going to have a big game.
Get out.
I think Waller's going to have a big game. Shepard.
Get out.
You get out.
Sorry, the fucking dog's in here eating the goddamn cat litter.
Jay,
This is
You
all
can
new to
like-
me in this new office. It's
Why-
all new to me in this new office.
why do you keep the peanut butter in your room? No,
Would you just
but,
stop bothering me while I'm cleaning my room?
Mom, leave the room.
I'm vacuuming.
Good.
All right,
So
finish it
off
up,
topic.
J-Rad. Who'd you pick? Who you got on this?
I think Joe Beal. I think Connor's going to have a bounce back game. I think I like the players on his side more. I don't know why Cohen is in Addix's lineup.
He won't be.
I just see tough matchups in some of his.
He's quietly waiting for Rashad Penny to be active and steal all your Chris Carson thunder.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Let's
That's
not
not gonna
pretend I
happen.
didn't throw some ghost trades at him. All right, maybe I'm still bitter about him not replying. I don't think he looks at it. Maybe he does, but he doesn't seem like it. He doesn't even listen to this podcast, so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, there you go. You don't have to worry about spoiling any news. All right, so we all got that. Next up is no skin in this game either. Ritter and Rhodes. Do the Chris's stick together here is the real question. Ritter's team is clearly, I think, one of the most dominant stacked teams in the league. I think his
team a lot.
I think his big downfall is he has so much depth and so much talent on his team. He's every week rotating players in and out that he probably shouldn't be doing this. I think he's just to the point now where he doesn't know who he's playing. But I think Rivers, Chark, one of my favorite pickups. He was actually available in my Dynasty League, and I had no clue about that.
Just grab him?
My other league, I didn't know it. I saw him on the waiver wire today. That's the only reason I found out he was out there. I thought somebody had him. I think Rhodes is in big trouble here. David Montgomery against Minnesota is a terrible matchup. No clue what's happening with McCoy. Lev Bell, he's on bye, so I guess Rhodes hasn't checked his lineup yet. So
He still has moves to make. He's going to probably throw Darrell Williams in there
yeah,
or whatever.
Darrell Williams
the hell
will
the
be on
guy's
there
first name is.
definitely. Maybe AJ Brown will get a sighting here. I'm not sure. I mean, even including his bench, I still feel like Rhodes is in trouble here. I forgot. Ritter's 2-1 in third place. Rhodes is 2-1 in sixth place. I got to go with Ritter here. I think Rhodes' team's in trouble. I think he's got a lot of mid-level talent. I don't know that he has, other than Lev Bell, he doesn't have the superstar name. He doesn't have the superstar talent on this team anywhere. I guess Tyreek Hill is probably his big talent, but he's out. I think Chris is going to be one of these teams that's going to probably finish 5th, 6th, or be 6th, 7th fighting for that last playoff spot. And he could do some damage then because he's got players that can go superstar status, but they don't have that superstar floor is, I think, his problem. So when he hits his floor, I think he's going to get dominated on a weekly basis. I think Ritter's complete opposite. He's got the superstar floor. It just depends upon whether or not he can run with the big dogs on that single week that somebody else blows up against him. I don't see Rhodes doing it this week. I'm going with Ritter. Nyhoff, also for the record, went with Ritter. Go ahead, Chris.
It's easy. It's Ritter. I mean, hands down. He's got depth. I mean, if he had Saquon playing, no one would even think twice about it.
That's very true. I think him being out of the lineup makes his lineup look weak. Because if he had Saquon in his flex spot,
It'd be Ingram and Lindsey.
He'd be projected in the 140s.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, he has his star player, his best player on his team hurt, and he still is easily going to win this because of his depth.
I'd like to imagine, and I don't know. Just a little aside, because I'm looking. I forget that he's got 75 Ravens on his roster here. There's a lot of talk this week about how much the Ravens were pissed about all the beat writers giving Cleveland the North Crown this year.
Is it in Baltimore or is it in Cleveland?
It's in
Baltimore.
Oh yeah. Oh, they're gonna put us.
The weather's gonna be fine. I don't know why they're showing weather next to it.
I think they are gonna try to. They're gonna make every attempt to just straight steamroll Cleveland this weekend, which is, I think, another reason it's gonna play into Ritter's favor.
Yeah, I think it's.
What do you think, Jrad?
Yeah, Ritter. I mean, it's just he's got so much depth. I mean, he literally has starters on his bench. Like Delaney Walker could easily be thrown in there. He has just guys, and then he's just going to get even better when some of these guys come back, like Golden Tate. And Green Bay's defense is just as good as Baltimore's for this matchup. So Ritter has a really good team. We'll see how it goes.
Jay?
So I am already picked Ritter as well ahead of this. This conversation is really starting to remind me, though, of week 2 or week 2 when we all picked against Sly McInvan. We all were saying the exact same things that we were saying right now. And he came out, he made those couple of moves. Granted, it was just kicker he picked up that went off, and he had a couple players that went off for him, and he got his first dub. It's sounding a lot like that. So Rhodes, I think, might be there, but I did have Ritter ahead of this.
That's where I think, like, what I was kind of saying, like, I think really stresses here. It's one of those, like, Rhodes has a team that could easily win this. But it's going to take that special week where he needs 3 or 4 of his players to really hit, like, the mid to high 20s. I think Ritter's floor, 9 out of 10 times, his team is going to have a more consistent scoring number week in and week out. That I just don't see the matchups in Rhodes' favor this week.
Not this week,
right?
Yeah, if there were better matchups, like Allen Robinson against Minnesota, David Montgomery against Minnesota, those are 2 terrible matchups for both of those. It's
Bell's
gonna be,
right. Yeah, so it was week 2.
Yeah, and the superstar Bell's on bye, even though their team has looked terrible and he's really not a superstar right now without a quarterback. But like McCoy's. What's up?
You also need to look at it. Think about it. You were talking about Williams for him putting in for Bell. Then he's going to have McCoy and Williams playing for the same team at the same time. I don't think that's going to work out for him.
No, not at all. I'm 100% with you there. I mean, he needs to make a decision on Darrell or on McCoy, and then, I mean, who's his other option? Does he really want Landry against Baltimore?
I think he has a matchup issue. Obviously, he's playing one of the top contenders,
or Devin Smith.
I was gonna. I just saw that, Chris. Yeah, like you said, Jrad, matchup issue. That's his problem this week. That's the only reason I'm saying I just don't see it happening is the matchup issue. If he had better matchups, he has the team that has the opportunity to score high. I just don't think he can do it consistently. So I think we all went Ritter, right?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, and I believe that included it did include Nyhoff also. So next one is Nyhoff's not here tonight. No skin in the game. Nyhoff is first place team, 3-0. The nastiest looking first place pussy I've ever seen. Jew Bear is the coolest looking grizzly bear I've ever seen in my life. Rocking the Jew Star. He's 2-1 in 5th place. So, like we just talked about with Rhodes, Nyhoff on the record obviously is going with himself. Drew Bear has the matchup. He has got the stack matchup this week that anybody in this league would want. You've got Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett, who just came off a wild-ass game against New Orleans, now going against the worst defensive secondary in the league in Arizona. Like, he's going to put up points here. Mike Williams should score against Miami.
Didn't practice
Mike
today.
didn't
I know.
practice, yep.
He scares me. Emmanuel Sanders scares me. Nick Chubb against Baltimore scares me. MMXIX against Pitt kind of makes me uneasy. He picked up, he's going to be eating at O'Shaughnessy's and every chance he gets. Leonard Fournette against Denver. Like, man, he starts off so strong with this quarterback wide receiver matchup, and then his team just goes to shit after that. Matchup wise, like, it just not his team necessarily, but his matchups just go to shit after that. Nyhoff's got Kyler Murray against Seattle. We just talked about that. I think Kyler Murray's going to have to throw the ball, going to have to run the ball. Keenan Allen against Miami is an absolute no-brainer. Everybody's going to be plugging him every DFS opportunity they have this week. Gordon against Buffalo's questionable.
Gordon was banged up, right? Yep.
Yeah. David Johnson against Seattle, again, another one. He's a receiving back. Aaron Jones is probably the one question mark on his team. I don't think I need to say much more. It's going to be Nyhoff this week, I think. I think he continues his trend 4-0.
Does he go back to Mark Andrews? Who knows? Disley's been
Not
playing
a chance.
well.
Not a chance. He's rolling with that matchup against Arizona.
Ooh, is Mark Andrews on the block? I will be interested. We can maybe work out something with Mark Andrews and Gallup.
Nyhoff has said everybody on his team is available.
I think
I'll
he's
jump
just
in on it.
Matchup though.
I did go with Chris as well, taking this one. Love the stack. Obviously, Wilson Lockett, you already hit on it. And then you went into the fact that he's got some question marks. I don't see his tight end doing too much. Maybe with, what is it, Minshew? Minshew likes him a little bit, but I don't know. It'll be tough. It's going to be really tough this week for Sly McInvale. I'm hoping that his kicker puts up about 40.
I don't know, against Houston, that might be trouble.
It's in a dome, Dave. It's in a dome. He can hit 60-yarders.
All right, Jrad, what do you think?
I do think Chris is going to pull it off. I do like it. Obviously, I just got beat by Joubert, and he put up some good numbers on me. With Wilson.
He was the high score last week, wasn't he?
Who was?
Barely.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Chris, your team sucks.
Wilson and Lockett, I mean, that they're going to put up great numbers, but he does have Disley in, so every time he's going to counter with that.
That's why he won't make that move to Andrews.
I'm going to go with Chris. I think his the wide receivers are a little bit favored on Joubert, but Chris has
that's if they're healthy.
Yeah, Chris has the better running back situation.
Do the Chris's stick together?
What's the reports on Vance again tonight, or today rather?
I think they were actually saying he has a chance to play.
So I mean, you got to move there. I mean, he could almost play him.
Go ahead.
I think
Chris,
there's more upside to
run
Vance.
through your pick, and I'll try to see if I can dig up some information here on Vance.
Well, this is a tough one. I'm going to be honest. If Mike Williams plays, Greg wins. If he doesn't play, Nyhoff wins. That's what it comes down to.
You're
me
pitting it
in
on
my
one
hand.
player, huh?
Yep, one player.
Vance McDonald.
Chargers are playing Miami. Mike Williams playing Miami. I mean, shit, we could go out there. All four of us could go out there and score 30 points against Miami. We don't have to be good.
I didn't realize this. You just said it, and it drew my attention to it. The Miami Chargers game has some stake here. They both have wide receivers. The Seattle-Arizona has some stake here. Joubert has Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett. Nyhoff has Kyler Murray, David Johnson. There is a Cincinnati, Joe Mixon versus John Ross. There's a lot of cross-contamination here in these two shitty teams.
My thought is this. Well, Keenan Allen's going to come out and have 3 touchdowns within the first half, and they're going to pull him. and then it's gonna be all Mike Williams.
Everybody keeps saying this. Jrad had the same theory last week with Dallas against Miami, and I think at halftime Dallas was only up by like 7 points.
They were up 4. It was 10-6, I think.
Niall and I were
Miami has
sweating
gotten
this past
better
week
every
watching that.
single week. They have,
And they had
Miami
a
has.
touchdown, and Miami had a touchdown last week before halftime, and they never challenged it. They would have easily won it. They are tanking.
Randall
horribly.
Cobb got a penalty on a 74-yard touchdown. I heard. I didn't watch the
And then you dropped him.
game. It's okay.
But I'm gonna have to go with Nyhoff just because I'm unsure about Greg's team. I mean, he's the Russell Wilson Lockett though duo. Tyler Lockett is gonna go out and destroy Arizona's secondary with Russell Wilson. It's just I wouldn't be surprised if them two together put up at least 50 points.
Write that one down so we can check it next week.
More bold takes on Twitter. Go ahead, Jrad. What you got?
Yeah, I think I thought I went over this already. I'm gonna take Nyhoff.
He did go.
Oh, my fault. Did I? You were last, Chris. That's right. I apologize.
Yeah.
I apologize. I was looking forward to
But
the next one.
I mean, if you heard me, I did take Nyhoff.
I got you. Yeah. I'm sorry. I was calling Jrad. I didn't inform him, but we're rolling into his skin in the game here. We got 1 and 2, 8th place, Mr. MMXIX. We have 1 and 2, 9th place. Holy shit, Boget is best in Jrad right now. Jrad's in 9th. Big shakeups here on the teams. Thank you. I want to take a moment and thank the league. Thank whoever took time to text and harass Jason Boget this week because he finally made a move to get rid of one of his IR players. He now has as many IR players on his team as Jay has quarterbacks.
Davis. I don't have any I have one quarterback now.
You only have one. You have two quarterbacks, and he has 2 IR players.
Drew Brees is IR, dude, right now. That's all that is with our deep-ass lineups.
But in fairness, on the other side of the boat, we're all giving Jason shit. And then you look at Jrad's bench. Jrad's got not available, suspended, out. I mean...
Studs.
Studs in the out coffin.
Does Gallman Jr. make an appearance? You spent all that fab.
Yeah, you go ahead, Jrad. You start. It's your team. I'll let you roll first, and then I'll get into mine and Nyhoff's.
Okay, yeah. So I'm nervous a little bit. I mean, this is a tight matchup.
The preface.
I like, Watson should keep doing Watson things, and Hopkins better come on because he's been a little cold, and Evans better stay on fire. I don't know. I love my receivers. They should be studs. I mean, I think I have 2 number 1 receivers and a number 2/3. So I love my wide receivers. I love Marlon Mack against Oakland. Chris Carson against Arizona if Penny's out and he doesn't fumble, he should have a field day. I like Vernon Davis against the Giants. James White should get a lot of catches. I mean, he should be at least 10 points there.
Can we all get a hashtag in our group message? Hashtag I love my guys.
I love my guys.
Well, Buckshot Walter.
I love all
like
my
our guys.
But no, I think Jason has a pretty good team. Matt Ryan continues to do well. Edelman is going to play. Ridley's going to play. He's probably going to have a bounce back game. The only thing that's helping me is some of his matchups. He's got some tough defenses to go against with, Tennessee, Buffalo, Chicago. I think some of these are some good defenses he's going to struggle with. So that's why I think I'm going to take the lead, just because of his matchups, not because of the talent that he has on his team.
It doesn't surprise me you love your guys. It's your team. You've been ghost trading all season, moving things around, making waiver pickups. You're building a team you wanted.
My bench destroys his team.
What'd you say?
My bench destroys his bench.
Well, they don't play each other on a weekly basis, Jrad.
That's true. There's a lot of zeros on each side.
I was gonna say, yeah, your bench destroys his bench because you got a quarterback that he doesn't have down there. But still, your lineup, you added Metcalf, you added James White. Those are your 2 new additions on the rest of your team that you've had pretty much the rest of the season. Vernon Davis is making a nice appearance here. You're holding him out till Hernan shows. You spent 33 fab on Gallman, and you're not even going to give him a shot at the lineup? Was that a
He's
block?
ghost trade bait.
Was that a pure block, or is that just trade bait?
He's ghost trade bait.
he's the phantom accept button. The other side, though, I think you're right. Matchups scare me here. It's got some bad weather in Pittsburgh. Hopefully Mason Rudolph, after having another week to practice, comes out and plays well. Buffalo Edelman scares me. Tennessee, you talked about their defense. I think a couple weeks ago we thought their defense was good, but you found out last week that they weren't really that good for you.
They may not be always good fantasy.
I mean, Jason's only hope right here is that Dalvin Cook goes off and he's got to play the Chicago D. That's going to be a great late Sunday game. I think that's going to be one of the best matchups.
Is.
One of the best matchups.
I still think
of the
it's
week.
low scoring though, and that hurts. That's going to hurt Dalvin Cook and have him in my other league.
I agree. I think Dalvin Cook's going to get a ton of touches, a ton of opportunity. I just don't think he's. I mean, if he gets 100 yards, it's going to be on like 26 carries. I mean, he's not going to go all for $150, $170 unless he breaks one. But that Chicago defense is fast and furious, man.
It's going to be it's his worst matchup of the season. He's playing Chicago at home.
Yep.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot on Kirk Cousins' shoulders, and he has not proved a damn thing yet.
Yep.
So
I'm rolling with Jrad on this. Nyhoff, for the record, also went with Jrad. So our picks are all in. Jrad, you already talked. So Chris or Jay, pick your poison. Who goes first?
Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah. We're talking about how projections don't mean shit, but we're looking at them right here. You guys are dead even. This was the toughest pick of the whole week for me because I do look at projections. And when I picked, I leaned towards Jrad after I thought he picked up a lot of consistency in our trade. I think I did the same thing when I went with Joe last week or the week after our trade, and I actually lost. So my pick was wrong. So Jrad, you better pull through for me. I like his stack with Watson Hopkins. I think that game is going to be a pretty good shootout. Chris Carson with Rashad Penny looking like he's hurt. Still should be just fine. And then I do like your Pittsburgh pickup. You got them at home playing Cincy. Everything you said about it earlier on in the podcast, I think that'll be helpful for you. So I leaned towards Jrad's side. This is going to be tight. It's going to be a really, really tight game. Matchup, rather.
Chris, wrap it up, and I'll let you go ahead and finish this, make your pick here, and then take your victory lap on the way out.
Well, I'm biased about this because I hope Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins do absolutely nothing because I have Carolina's defense.
Oh.
I'm hoping Marlon Mack does nothing because I have Paris Campbell and T.Y. Hilton. I mean, Vernon Davis just trips and falls and gets a concussion, and Scary Terry's got to tear it up. I mean, I'm biased on this one.
That's the most negative pick'em I think we've had yet. But I'm with you. Jrad's team sucks.
I am so biased about this. Jrad's got the good stack. I mean, I think Dalvin Cook is going to get a lot more work than everyone thinks because he's their whole team right now. Pretty much. He's their whole team. But outside of that, for Jason, O.J. Howard, I can't trust him. Edelman, I can't trust him. Juju, you can't trust him right now either because you don't know what's going on. So even though I'm so biased about this, I'm going to have to go with Jrad on this one. But I'm hoping I'm so wrong.
Wait, other than Ritter, I think I got everybody. Only Ritter. Yes.
What are you talking about?
I got all the votes.
Oh.
I think Ritter's the only one that got all the votes.
Clifford only voted against me out of spite because, Christian McCaffrey decided to go for what was it, an 80-yard touchdown towards the end of the game and put me ahead enough to win.
Is this the first lap you're taking?
It is. It is until
go.
Scary Terry comes out. Once Scary Terry comes out, it just goes crazy from there.
We hate it.
There you go. Got to listen to this first.
Brother? I'm Paul. You must be Tommy. Brothers don't shake brother's got a hood.
All right, take your lap. Take
That's
So-
our
your
first
lap.
drop. That's
Hold
our
up.
first extended drop.
Take
Wait.
your lap.
Here, let's see it. I got to scroll real quick because I have text messages after text messages of Clifford just telling me that I'm going to get my ass whooped. Oh, my team is super stacked. He's saying that he would just absolutely destroy me. Ah. And I wanted to bet this week. I mean, last year we had 10 teams, so we played everyone. I don't know. Somehow I played him twice, and we went 1-1. But I only get to play him once this year, and that's all I cared about.
Maybe in the playoffs.
Playoffs.
He's got to
Talking
make
about
it first.
playoffs?
He's got to make it first.
Then
I mean,
get him.
I could lose every matchup after this, and I'll be fine with it because you know what? At the end of the day, I beat Clifford. Other than I'm waiting for a score adjustment so I can be leading scorer of the week.
I believe
You
they
know.
go in on Tuesday, so if there hasn't been one, it's done.
I thought it was Thursday. I thought they went on Thursdays.
Yeah, I thought it was Tuesday. You might be. I mean, we'll wait and see. I mean, if there is one, I'll probably just erase it anyway. Make sure you don't get it.
You know, because there was one time when Joe Mixon ran the ball and he tripped, and he actually landed, a few yards shorter than where they spotted the ball.
Didn't he also fumble it and they recovered it and they said that might not have been counted as a carry?
Something
So you
like
could
that.
lose
So
more points there. You're right. I'm with you.
Cliff, this is your brother's victory lap. Can you please let him keep going?
No,
He's
I'm
just
cutting
jealous.
it short. I'm cutting it short. He's done. Since you did bring it up, though, the playoffs was brought up. Right now, currently, we have Nyhoff at first, me in second, Ritter in third, my brother Chris in fourth, Joe, Sly Jew Bear, Sly
Yes.
McInvale there at number 5, and Chris Rhodes wraps up our current playoff standings. I know we're only
Wait.
3 weeks in.
Playoffs.
Yeah.
Don't talk about playoffs.
Week 4 is officially the end of the first quarter of the season. So
is that all the Chris's?
yes, all the Chris's are up there. Correct. Yep. All the
You know,
Chris's.
great
and,
name.
All the Chris's and no J or no J names. They're all out.
Wow.
So first quarter wraps
Those are
up.
some analytics right there.
First quarter wraps up.
Jesus.
Right now, Nyhoff has the lead. Record comes first. Points for is the tiebreaker. Whoever wins the first quarter does win a payout off of that, and then we start again with the second quarter. So even as we get further into the season, there's still a chance to make money. Obviously, you can win weekly money, you can win quarter money, and then obviously by finishing dead last, Jay, you'll be able to pick first next year.
I like that.
So,
I like that.
There's always those opportunities.
Hey, man.
Money.
You
It's
know,
gonna be
unless
a
you mess
rebound
up the
right here.
draft again.
Yeah, unless I screw up the draft and the 12th place team actually gets to pick 7th or something. But so what do you got, Jay, on the way out? We'll wrap it up here. Next couple minutes.
Last words of wisdom. Keep playing, keep getting after it. Obviously, that's my mindset. I'm not cashing it in. I'm going to stick with trying to win some money back with these $20. We'll see. I mean, it's 3-0. It's early. I can still make a playoff push. I'm revamping my team completely.
I think you meant 0-3.
Whatever. What did I say? I said 3-0?
Not what your team is.
Whatever. I'm 0-3. It's 3 weeks in. I have time to turn it around. Melvin Gordon's coming back. There is some horizon. I can see the sun over the horizon now.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance. There you go. I'll take that. I will take that.
What do you got, Jrad?
Oh, I'm just out here throwing trades out. Now, if you wake up in the morning, you got a nice little update, little notification, go to Yahoo and take a look at it.
And it'll be gone because he's already canceled it.
There's always a chance. I might put a bow on it. I might cancel it. I like making moves. I like keeping this thing alive. That's my advice. Keep checking your Yahoo lineups and make it something.
At any point
Don't
in the
ignore
day,
me.
at any point in the
Let me
day,
know.
if you think that nobody cares about you, Josh cares about your team.
When I'm driving down 695 or 270, I'm throwing trades out.
Stay off the roads. Avoid him. What do you got,
That
Chris?
sounds illegal. Well, I'm just going to start off with this: is that current projections has Jay going 0-13, but But Jrad started giving me a good idea. Miles Sanders and MVS Ghost Trades are going out all night after we get off of this, and you guys are gonna have to deal with them. Get prepared.
All right, guys. That's it for us. That is our Week 4 preview. We'll be back on Tuesday to recap Jay's 0-4 start,
Nope.
the demolition of
Nope.
my brother's team, and J-Rad quitting the league. Rage quitting after Jason's IR team finds a way to defeat him.
All the votes.
All the votes. Those votes will keep you warm at night when you're 1-3. I appreciate you guys all coming on. I think we did a pretty good job staying off each other's toes. Good shit talking tonight. Keep the league fun, active. Let me get some I love my guys in the chat. And I appreciate it, and we'll be back on Tuesday.